In an age when capitalism ran rampant, a fast food chain known as Burgermeister was founded, and it spread like wildfire all across the globe. In the process, it made a ridiculous amount of profit by providing the world with a variety of greasy, fattening foods at competitive prices. At the dawn of the 21st century, the populace was becoming increasingly health conscious. As a result, Burgermeister's profit margins began to shrink dramatically, and they soon found themselves losing money for the first time in their history. Burgermeister's CEO found this to be totally unacceptable and decided to take matters into his own hands. This man was, of course, Victor von Clown. Weary of all the diet fads and health gurus that were costing him a fortune, he flew from his retreat in Buenos Aires to New York City, where he addressed his army of devoted employees. Von Clown ordered his workers to find a way to get people back into his restaurants. He demanded they do it by any means necessary. Von Clown's staff worked tirelessly to find just the right thing that would attract people back to their struggling chain. In the end, they settled on developing a solution that would work as a food additive. They dubbed this final solution Orexicium. It emitted a smell that could not be perceived on a conscious level, but yet caused people to develop uncontrollable cravings for whatever product it was added to. Orexicium was so effective that it was immediately mass-produced and added to all of Burgermeister's products. Almost overnight, profits were soaring again as people devoured the chemically altered food in quantities never before seen. Many other fast food chains could no longer compete with Burgermeister, and they were forced to shut down their operations. Some took the news better than others. Thanks to Orexicium, Von Clown was on top of the world and celebrated accordingly. Unbelievably, Burgermeister's food became so popular that each day hundreds of their franchises began running out of stock. Having to sometimes go days without food from Burgermeister, many began to exhibit symptoms of withdrawal. The situation worsened by the day. People were becoming ravenous. It came to a point where they could no longer control their insatiable cravings. And then it happened. No one knew it at the time, but those who had indulged in Von Clown's chemically altered food began to emit the same irresistible smell that their meals had. It wasn't long before a wave of random, uncontrollable acts of cannibalism swept the earth. The old "you are what you eat" saying suddenly took on a whole new meaning. While people's diets were changing from burgers to humans, their eating habits remained the same. Some still chose to supersize their meals, while others chose to eat off the kids' menu. Despite the growing number of cannibal killings, Von Clown continued to produce Orexicium in an attempt to feed the demand he had created. Some of the scientists who had developed Orexicium began to realize the havoc their creation was causing, and they brought it to Von Clown's attention. They pleaded with him to cease adding the chemical to his products and to recall the altered food that remained on the market. Von Clown gave it some thought, but in the end, he decided it would be best to just cover everything up. As much as he denied the truth publicly, Von Clown was well aware of Orexicium's destructive power. Not wanting to succumb to it himself, he commissioned his scientific team to create an antidote that would nullify the effects of the chemical. A short time later, his scientists announced that they had successfully created a remedy that could be used against Orexicium. Once Von Clown had ingested the antidote, he did the unthinkable and ordered his staff to destroy the reserves of it. When links were made between Burgermeister and the cannibalism, Von Clown was forced to call a press conference to address the growing concern about the food that he was marketing to the masses. Needless to say, this did little to reassure the public. The value of Burgermeister's stocks plummeted. Though the carnage was reaching epidemic proportions, Von Clown could not see past his own greed. Determined to put an end to his declining profits, he decided to take drastic action. Von Clown hatched a plot that he believed would alleviate many of the woes his company was facing. He would make people believe his products were safe again by eating one of his own burgers during a live broadcast. He theorized that if the public witnessed him eating his food, then they would come to the conclusion that his products were indeed safe, and they would indulge in them just as they had in the past. In turn, Burgermeister would thrive once more. It seemed like a sound plan, but Von Clown failed to realize one thing. There had never been an antidote. Von Clown's insanity needed to be put to an end, and one woman took it upon herself to see to it. All at once, the world fell silent as men, women, and children watched in shock and horror as one of the vilest men in history tore himself to pieces. After the demise of Von Clown, the Burgermeister empire crumbled. Its legacy would be a somber reminder of what can happen when one lets greed consume them.
Hi, welcome to Burgermeister. Can I take your order?